Hello, I'd like to talk to you about privilege. And so let's get an understanding that we're all on the same page. What is a privilege? A special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group, often to the detriment of others? That's what we're going to go with. I call it an exemption, say for exemption from the law. It's almost like I may have to obey the law, but because you are European, you are part of that establishment who wrote the laws. Our forefathers wrote the laws. And so they don't tell you in the Constitution or in laws that you're exempt from the law. It is shown by the way that you are treated versus the way I'm treated. And today, the only reason why on this specific holiday I want to talk about privilege is because in watching a video about Burkina Faso, and of course, the three lions have been in the news daily, and I'm talking about the presidents of Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. And they're acting like lions instead of like meow meow, because that's what the people, the colonizers, want. Now, this is what prompted me to want to speak about this on today when I thought I was through. In talking about Ibrahim Traore, they said that there have been 18 separate attacks on his life. Now, I'm, I'm a black man, and I'm sitting out here saying to myself, 18 attempts on his life, and I think obviously we know who's doing it, because since he's put one of the colonizers out of his country and others have followed suit, and they no longer get to do and run around in his house the way that they want to, like badass children, okay? Then you want to attempt, like you've already accomplished in the past, kill the leader so everything can go in disarray and you can start off by getting what you want again, because you're going to put a puppet administration in there, and you're going to have total control of that puppet, because you're going to pay him enough just so that he looks good for everybody on the outside, but he has to run everything through you. Since that isn't being done, and I take my hat off to Africa, because Africa, you're setting a fine example for people all over the world who have been mistreated, who have been actually sewn asunder, I would say, hanged, burned, you almost anything that you wanna say. I mean, buck broke, all these things that have been perpetrated against our ancestors and people of color, against people who've come to take from you, not to give you anything. Okay? So what I want to say is that when we look at 18 times somebody's been killed, you mean to tell me he doesn't even get to defend himself? I want to ask Ibrahim Traore, if somebody makes 18 tries on your life, you mean to tell me you can't defend yourself, or you can't put a stop to it? Because you notice that the United States, NATO, and even the people, your allies, have not helped you with this problem. They've helped you with giving you some support and everything else, but they stopped short of taking care of the problem fully. Okay? And when I say that, Africans have endured trauma over the centuries, and they're not the only ones. But just like other people say, Africa might not be their problem, but it's their savior. So they will protect it so that they can keep getting the minerals out of it, but they will not protect the human being that is making it possible for those people to raise their head up again. And in a way, I'm jealous because I look at America and I look at where are our leaders? Where are our three lions? Look what we've put up with. Okay? And it's not getting better. And a lot of times we have been taught to see things through another man's eyes. And so therefore we begin to hate ourselves and the people that look like us, that remind us of anything that we went through, okay, through even our ancestors' experience. That trauma gets downloaded in the DNA and it gets passed on, okay? Fear gets passed on from generation to generation. And what has fear done for you? Kept you alive? No, you're dead. You know, we're dead to being human beings, men and women. They don't mind if you be a boy or a girl, a male or a female, just as long as they can control you. But the minute that you decide to take the reins of your life, the reins of your future, then it's a problem. So I'm not going to hold you long because today is a holiday and all of that foolishness. But you know, if they weren't making money on today, you'd be at work. Yeah. You get a day off today because you're going to spend probably, people going to spend probably trillions of dollars today. I don't know. Because they keep whatever they're making, whatever they're collecting in taxes. Do you notice that they always want to know what you make, but you never know what they make? And that goes for the government, billionaires, millionaires, and they talk about the richest person is in the world is Elon Musk. And I don't believe him because I believe the richest people on this earth are behind a curtain that we can't see behind. And they run things from the shadow. Now, hopefully you get something out of this, but if you have the least bit of humaneness or humanness in you, you understand that to take people's lives just because they don't want to adhere to your bullying tactics and you running their lives and their countries and taking the food off their baby's table and taking their resources and using them for your benefit, but not theirs. You're eating the best of everything, and they barely got something to eat. And I'm going to tell you, I believe what they say about being a Neanderthal, because only those people who are not human beings fully can perpetrate and do the things that you do to civilizations and people and act like you don't feel it, that you don't care. And the sad part about that is when people let you do it without murmuring a word, saying nothing about what you've done, they let you go. They act like sometimes they're scared or sometimes they're just indifferent. As long as it's not happening to them. And that's been happening with people of color too. A lot of people talking about black Indians and everything else. And boy, I've seen a lot of Indians get angry and everything else. And then today, this morning, I put out a video and I let an elder from a tribe speak about especially the relationship between Indians and black people. But she didn't speak on it long. She just made one or two major sentences. And those sentences saved people's lives, Indian lives. And it cost black people their lives. Now, people of color, as much as you have been trying to dye your skin, adopt European ways, where has it gotten you? You've gone away from the ways of your people to a people who really don't want you. They may want you more than they want us because we remind them of something that they did that was horrible. And then, not only that, when you start looking at history, they are angry with us because of who we are, the things that we have accomplished, not today, but yesteryear. But we are still accomplishing things today. But this foundation that you can live the life that you live was built on the backs of slaves, bond and free, black and other colors, but primarily black here. And they took up for the Chinese. When they were ready to kick them out, Frederick Douglass made a speech about how people, he didn't say just Chinese people, but how people need to be treated and fairly, actually welcomed into this country or not. So go back to praising Santa Claus and doing all those things that you want to do. But when you see men, lions, getting treated the way that they're being treated, and people trying to kill them and everything else, and you don't speak out about it, you think because it's over there in Africa, not knowing that, where were the first people from? You can go back as far as you like, but I bet you the creation of man, you're gonna be very surprised. Have a happy holiday.